just a.
That's it, right. So you don't have to worry about it at all. So,
I'm not worried.
so you could just look at me. So I'm not John Cameron Swayze.
Okay, you know, maybe we could just close the curtains because your face is in shadow,
Okay. Do that.
or almost close, it doesn't have to be closed all the way. That's fine, just like that,
Okay.
okay.
So, we're here with Ben, David, Ruthie.
But David, could you
and me.
get a little bit more closer to Ben?
Sure.
We're not taking pictures.
I know, but I
That's
mean,
okay.
this way I don't look at a lot of people,
Fair enough.
Uh-huh.
you know. This way, I mean, I can see you two, and I know they're
It might be
there.
better off on the other side, and then
You know what, I'll go on the couch.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that way I'm not aware of an audience. Because I might look at them to see what their reaction is, and then if I don't like their reaction.
Well, it's okay. The audience is okay.
Okay,
They're your family. It's okay. This is not, Anyhow, so today is July 22nd. So July 22nd is close to July 26th, which is your wedding anniversary, obviously. Right?
absolutely correct.
Okay, yes. And so you were married on July 26th, 1953
Yes,
to,
to Lawrence R. Pernick,
Yes,
otherwise known as Larry,
and what did the R stand for?
Ralph.
Good. See, the memory's good. You're doing very
Although
well.
We seldom use that name.
Right, right. So, do you remember how you met?
Yes, exactly. We met at the Jewish Community Center of Metropolitan Detroit, and it was an election night. And we were voting for the future officers of the Jewish Young Adult Club. And we already had a slate, and I was slated to be the president, and I had already agreed. Everybody who was on the nomination slate had already agreed to the positions they were asked to perform.
Right.
So when they started repeating the names, they said something like, Ann Zelonka, do you agree to be president? And I answered yes, which of course was no surprise. And then they asked the person who was supposed to be vice president, whose name I do not remember, so-and-so, do you agree to become vice president if elected? And lo and behold, to everyone's surprise, this person said, no, I've changed my mind, which was unheard of.
Mm-hmm.
So then they had to have nominations from the floor. And a few people were nominated by their supposedly best friends, and the person who was nominated said, I decline. And after the third declination, I was thinking, looks like I'm not going to have a vice president. And then a friend of my brother's, Al Eichler, who was there that night for I believe the first time he ever attended that meeting, said, I nominate Larry Pernick. And that was a name completely foreign to me, had never seen him at our meetings, had no idea who he was, but I wasn't worried about it because I felt he's going to say I declined also. But lo and behold, he said, I accept the nomination. So obviously there wasn't any uproar. Everybody was very glad that that was cut and dried, and he was elected vice president. And that was the first time I had ever met him.
So how did he end up being at that meeting?
Because Al Eichler and Larry belonged to the same fraternity, and Al Eichler was going, and I guess he just saw Larry that day, and he mentioned he was going. Did Larry want to go, or maybe Larry offered to go? Had nothing better to do, and that was his very first meeting of that group, and all of a sudden, he was the brand new vice president. And I had no idea what he was like.
So what did you think? Do you remember what you thought when you heard that he accepted or that you saw him for the first time?
I just was relieved that I had a vice president because I thought, it's not going to look right if I don't have a vice president. Nobody wanted to be my vice president. It's not a great, honor not to have a vice president.
Mhm.
So I think it was just relief,
Okay.
but I knew absolutely nothing about him.
So that was when that this meeting was held? Approximately what month and year?
am guessing it was probably spring. I'm not sure when the year began officially.
Do you know how old you were when you became president?
Well, if it was 1953,
You were married in 1953.
oh, right, right. It was, may have been, you know, I think I knew him about a year and a half. So it may have been, that would make it about the end of 1951 or so.
Okay,
That sounds reasonable.
okay.
Thanks for reminding me the date I was married.
And so when did you start dating your vice president?
I think our first date was the Yom Kippur Night Dance, which was an annual institution in the Detroit area. And
Do you know where it was held?
downtown somewhere.
Okay.
And
So like approximately how many people attended this?
it was a very popular event. I really don't.
100, 1,000?
Not 1,000,
Okay.
not that popular, but maybe 125.
Okay.
Depending
Was
on.
there like a band or?
Oh, I'm sure there was a
Yeah,
band.
okay.
And it was in a hall or, I mean, it wasn't out on the street or anything. It was, you know, a well-known Jewish event.
But did you go as a couple or did you just start?
I think we
dating.
just went, the two of us. And he picked me up, he was driving.
Hmm.
And
Do you remember what he was driving?
No, but he was always a very self-confident driver.
Okay.
You know, some people you drive with them and you get nervous because you know they're not completely at ease. But he had been driving for quite a few years, and driving was always second nature to him.
Hmm. Okay, very good. So after that Yom Kippur dance, did you start dating at that point, or do you remember, was this a relationship that built, or was it like,
No, I think we dated, but just casually. I
Mhm.
don't recall that it was serious right at the beginning. I think it was just every so often, or especially if there was an affair at the Jewish Center.
mhm. Okay,
So,
but then something happened at some point. Let me just pause this for a moment.
Okay.